Bad Boy, you know, that movement meant so much to hip hop at that time, and you know, as a fan, I'll be honest with you, it's you know, it's, and I'm gonna ask you about. You could answer however you choose to, but at that time, you guys showed so much camaraderie and family, and you know, you fast forward now, you know, you hear about the beefs and the conflict, and are those things, say for example, you know C's is a friend of mine, I'm not going to front, but that's not where this question is coming from, okay? It isn't. Is there ever a chance of reconciling? No?
Next question.
Never be a Junior Mafia album?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Okay. At all?
Never.
Okay. Are you sure now? Okay.
Never.
What about outside of the business, you two actually coming to peace?
At this point, I would say never.
Okay.
At this point, I would say never. You know, only God directs my life, so I can't say if I would ever speak to him in a way future. But at this point, no.
Never.
I have not seen a single change in him. You know, I've seen a bunch of talk and a bunch of contradictions, so no.
No. And then, why didn't you sign the Bad Boy back then?
That's an interesting question. Okay. Biggie did bring me to Puffy. Puffy did not understand how a sexy female rapper, okay, you know, when he says like she's too pretty to be rapping. Come on, female rappers don't look like her. They don't rap. You know what I'm supposed to do? You know, and it was funny because Big was like, all right, you gonna be mad. And then when he finished my album and he played it for Puffy, Puffy was like, this can't go out without me. And that's how he got on No Time, because No Time was actually the remix for Get Money. It was supposed to be the remix for Get Money. So, you know, instead of that Amadeus beat, it was supposed to be that No Time beat. But me and Biggie, all of us hated it. We were like, nah, that is whack. So Puffy was like, I'm telling y'all, this beat is hot, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I think, you know, Enough came out with the Amadeus beat, and we loved that so much more, so that ended up being Get Money beat, because that was the single we were promoting at the time. But Biggie did bring me to Puffy, and Puffy kind of, he passed up on Junior Mafia, too. He didn't get it.
That's crazy.
Because he passed up, and he didn't get it. He didn't understand what Biggie and were trying to do. And we all got it, except for him at the time. And then once we blew up, it was like he just, you know, like he do now, you know. He just jumped on us, and then especially me, because I was one of the members that just blew up. And so he made sure that No Time was my first single with him on it, which I wasn't mad at, because I always looked up to Puffy as a businessman and as a man in the industry who's always you know, is known for some good things, some great things. So.
He's always groundbreaking, you know, he's always breaking ground, if you will. So how do you, how is your communication now? How's your relationship now? Because Diddy obviously works with Nicki. And how does your relationship work now?
We don't talk. We don't talk. You know, this is the one thing that I laughed at, like, hysterically, because I remember in one of his interviews, he said, you know, I can't believe, you know, she's mad at me for working with another female artist. Come on, let's get real. How many other female rap artists has he worked with? So many. Even at the time when I was, you know, in play with him. And I never would have a problem with that. Come on, like, I can't wait for the day where people really find out who I am. You know, the things will turn around, because people just don't know me. But once they get to know me, they're like, oh my gosh, the perception is all wrong. But, you know, I would never, like, that doesn't make any sense, you know. Some of my closest friends in the industry who are rappers, he worked with. And he's been in that situation plenty of times before. I didn't have a problem. The only problem I had with Puffy is that you see this girl taking shots at me. Even on your own record, she took a shot at me, which was the Good Morning track or whatever. Yeah. And you didn't stop that. If this was me years ago, he would have been doing everything. If it was somebody he was working with and he had a relationship with and he got money with or whatever, he would be like, that can't go out. You know what I mean? He would try his best to stop it, and he wouldn't really had, you know, see, like I mentioned before, Puffy is the most positive, negative person I've ever met.
Positive, negative.
He is. He's very positive because if you watch him very closely, he'll say and do something so positive, and then right in the same breath, he'll do something so negative. Just watch
That's
him.
interesting. And I'm going to watch from this point.
He actually did it this past BET Awards this past summer, when that BET Awards, he was like, just, come on, all of y'all, stop, the hate, and let's just be positive, and this, that, and that. And then right after he said that, he was like, and I'm talking to you, you mother effer, you F you, and you hate it, and this, that, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just say? And then, I just, that's Puffy. Yeah. That's just how he does. But I'm specifically hurt because, well, I'm not even gonna say hurt because, I'm a hustler, so I respect the game. Yeah. I respect the game, but I'm bothered by his actions because of the fact that I rode with Puffy to the bitter end, and still would have rode with him. Puffy never came to see me in prison, not one time. He didn't write me a letter. He didn't say, here's a number for Kim to call. Not one time. After all the history that we have, not one time. He didn't put no money in my commissary, which that was the least, because I had too much money in my commissary. I didn't need no money. But just the fact that he didn't even try to, like reach out or, make sure that I was good or just see my face. But then, because of your little business situations over there with Cash Money and Rick Ross and all of them, you gonna go see Wayne? I mean, this is a group. When we were coming up, you had so many things to say. Like, oh, this group, not in a negative, negative, but in a negative positive way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they were like his competition. We were Bad Boy, they were Cash Money, but he likes friendly competitions. But a lot of times his friendly competitions get very, competitive. Yeah. So, Puffy, and what I'm saying about Puffy is that, how dare you? If anything, keep your loyalty to me because I've been there for you. And like even after, he didn't come see me